Today's video is my realistic, budget-friendly pantry organization video. I hope you guys like it. Give it a thumbs up if you do, and let's just get right on into what it looks like now. So this, guys, is what my pantry looks like right now. It is a disaster. It's a hot mess from moving and just kind of throwing bags of groceries in there without any kind of like plan or organization whatsoever. It's just what it is. So that's one side of my pantry. And then this is the other one. And this one's more my baking things. And yes, I have some jars in the bottom, potatoes. It is just a hot mess. Some food wraps. And then I'm storing some of my appliances up on top. That's kind of what it is. So I want to put some contact paper. Some contact paper on the shelves because they're looking pretty rough. You can kind of tell on this side, you can really tell they're starting to peel really badly. So I just want to do that. But this is probably going to be multiple different days of doing this because I do not have all the energy in the world. I'm still exhausted from moving and painting and cleaning and all the things. So that's some of my storage or organization things that I already had. Most of that is from the dollar store here in Canada called Dollarama. And then I have some more from my boys' toys that I'm going to be using when their bins come in for their IKEA shelving that I have. And so let's just get started with some organization. So this is what the cooking side of the pantry looks like. And I'm kind of going to go through and talk a little bit about it because I do keep, as you can see, I keep my pantry quite well stocked, as well as like this. Now, this is kind of probably what you'd call borderline prepper pantry. I do have a canning pantry downstairs where I can and process all my own food pretty much. So I cook, I would say almost 100% from scratch. There's obviously some things we don't make, but so you can see up here, we have all like the crackers, snack crackers for my boys. And then this right now is holding pouches, fruit pouches. This is kind of my teas that I don't really use on a regular basis, and some cereals. And then there's one box of Cheerios. We really don't eat a lot of cold cereal at all. We pretty much just eat baked oatmeal, eggs. We have our own laying hens, and so they give us about 10 eggs a day, which is too much for us, but you know, we sell some if we have extra. And then on this next shelf here, I have my chicken soup base, which I have 2 jars, but I don't use that a lot because I actually make my own chicken bone broth, so which is downstairs in the basement. So I just have that kind of on hand in case I need it, or you know, in case stuff happens. And then I got some breadcrumbs, which I do not make my own. I should. I need to make my own bread so that I can make my own breadcrumbs. And then there's some beef soup base back here, which again, I don't really use a lot. I try and make my own from like beef bones. You can actually go to a local butcher shop and buy beef bones to make your own stock. I had to take a break because my 2-year-old is needing some care here. And then the next little area here is flax seeds and honey. My husband makes an all-natural protein butter. It's natural peanut butter, honey, flax seeds, and a little bit of cinnamon, and he loves it. Like, he eats it by the spoonfuls and takes a little container with him to work. And then we have our extra coffee here. I always try and have at least 1 or 2, maybe 3 coffees on hand. We don't drink a ton, but I like to have it on hand. I never like to run out of anything. And then back here, as you can see, there's some chicken noodle soups, which, you know, is just in case, really. I make my own typically. And then we got spaghetti, macaroni, fusilli, and then extra pastas back there, and egg noodles. And then I have some shell pasta and rice back there. We don't eat a ton of pasta. My husband is a meat and potatoes man, so that's mostly what we have. And then back here, there's like regular peanut butter. This is the brand of natural peanut butter that my husband likes. And then we got extra honey and at least 4 of the creamed honey, the raw creamed honey, which is, it's so good. So good. It's Canadian made, which probably is why. And then this is just breadcrumbs, some croutons, some Pam spray back there, which I hate using, but my husband loves it on with his eggs in the morning on the frying pan. And then I have some spaghetti sauce. Now, I normally make my own and can it, but we've already run out, so I like to have lots on hand just because I like to be prepared in case stuff hits the fan, really is what it is. Pizza sauce back there. Again, I make my own pizza sauce, but I ran out this year, and so I had to buy some more. And then this is just our current peanut butter we're using. Extra mayo. Always like to have a couple of those on hand in the summer, especially with more pasta salads being made, and we like it on our burgers too. And then this is our favorite barbecue sauce for burgers and even chicken. And then this is the best for if you do ribs. Like, we do a barbecue baby back ribs that are baked first and then barbecued, and they're so good. Oh my, they're so good. I should leave the recipe down below, but maybe I won't. And then I always like to have lots of mustard, soy sauce, and Worcestershire sauce back there, and then at least 2 or 3 of ketchups, because that is a staple in our house. Ketchup, mayo, and eggs, pretty much. And then this shelf is my canned goods. So I've got like pork and beans, which I also actually can my own, but I just like to have some canned ones on hand. Tomato sauce, tomato soup, mushroom soup, vegetable soup, which we don't really eat a lot of. I pretty much can like my own stuff usually, and same with beans. I have my own beans canned, and then there's some sweetened condensed milk, diced tomatoes, which again I can my own, but I ran out, and so you know, gotta buy them. And then pineapple tidbits. We like that on our pizza, and so I always like to have that. I should go down here. Have those on hand, and then granola bars. My husband likes. He takes a lot of granola bars for work, actually. He loves his granola bars, and so we try and keep those stocked up well. You can see there's lots there. And then the next shelf is my onions and potatoes, the boys' snacks, some chips. We don't eat a ton of snack food, but we do like taco salad, which I might use these chips for. And then on the other side of the chips is like juices, which again, we don't drink a lot of juice at all, but I just like to have it on hand just in case. And then the very bottom shelf is all water, and then 2 cases of small bottles. And then I have lots of vinegar already. There's 4 bottles, almost 4 jugs here, plus another one in the other side. And then I've got lots of oil because, again, I just like to have things on hand in case. And then some apple cider vinegar. We don't drink a lot of that, but that is that pantry. So again, a quick overview. I am so blessed to have this double pantry, let me tell you. And then this one, like again, they're not fully done. I would love to have put contact paper on the shelves, but just, you know, there's other things that need my attention in this house as far as organizing after we move. And so that's just where we're at. So we're gonna start at the top again and come down. So again, I like to stock up on food wrap and things. And then I have our deep fryer back there because we don't deep fry often. And then my meat grinder for my KitchenAid. So because we prepare, you know, can and preserve all our own food. So in the summer, you know, all the veggies like peas, corn, beans, you know, we're gonna be processing our own chickens this year, all the things. And so I like to stock up on bags when they're on sale because I like to have freezer bags. And so there's some extra large on the very top, sorry, there we go. And then that's all large, those are mediums. And then I have some snack and sandwich bags. We don't really go through a lot of those. My husband uses sandwich bags for work for his cookies, but that's about it. And then I've got some parchment paper, saran wrap, and foil. And then this is my stack of contact paper that I'm planning on putting on the shelves when I get the motivation to do that. But you know what, right now, that motivation is lacking, and so that's just where we're at. And so actually I should move these out there as well. But there's just a little bit more parchment paper, wax paper. I use parchment paper a lot for baking because I bake cookies very, very regularly. And so again, here I use the same system as my last pantry organization video, which I will have linked in my description box. That one seemed to be a hit on YouTube. It's got like 4,500. Sorry, my son just spilt my plant here. Listen to that, honey. Leave it on, okay? That's what you call mom life right there. So I use the same system as I did for that video. So I just put them in mason jars. I have all my stuff, so Ultra Spurs, that's actually a thickener, just like Clear Gel or cornstarch, except it keeps your sauces and pie fillings and things clearer. And Ultra Spurs doesn't have the taste that Clear Gel does. And so we go through baking soda and baking powder quite much. There's cornstarch in the back, icing sugar, and then lots of coconut. And I already had all of these jars on hand. Now I had gone crazy in January and stocked up on jars because I knew that there was gonna be a short supply again in the fall when everybody wanted to do their canning, just like last year. There was you couldn't find jars or lids or rings anywhere. They were all sold out everywhere. And so I just like to be prepared and plan ahead of time. And so then we have pecans. Now I used to, before we moved, get all of my baking and things, supplies, bulk at a Mennonite bulk food store, which is way cheaper than even like a Bulk Barn here in Canada or other bulk food stores. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do now that we've moved. We may just have to plan our trips a little bit accordingly. Okay, leave it alone, honey. Okay, leave it alone, please. Thank you. And then we've got some chocolate chips, some graham cracker crumbs, and then this is an old meat grinder, cast iron meat grinder that we will use when we process our own meats. And then I have, you know, my vanilla yeast. I keep pizza yeast, traditional yeast, and quick rise yeast all on hand, again, just in case. And then there's some chocolate pudding mix, some vanilla wafers, cocoa, Oreo crumbs, citric acid. I use that for when I make my own cheese whiz and cheeses.
Mommy,
Yes?
my green John Deere tractor wagon hooked up to the Jeep.
Okay, mommy's just filming a video, okay?
Why?
Because I want to do my pantry organization one. So then we got some nuts, walnuts, cashews, minute tapioca, which I rarely use, and chia seeds. I don't use very often either. And then we've got prunes, dates, poppy seeds. Again, don't use them very often, but once in a while we have a recipe where we need them. Pumpkin seeds, mini chocolate chips, and then this is some cheese powder, which can't see it. There we go. Which is not probably very healthy for you, but that's how I make my cheese whiz, homemade cheese whiz. And then we got salts. This is pickling salt back here for when I do my pickles, some extra flour, and then this is like extra spices back here that did not fit into my spice drawer. I should actually show you guys my spice drawer. It's pretty amazing. And then we have a huge, these are gallon jars. Again, now I got these from a local restaurant where I believe it was $2 a jar. I would definitely suggest, if you want to have large canisters, instead of paying, you know, $20 at Walmart for a jar, for one of those Anchor Hawking jars, definitely check your local restaurants, because they go through these jars for pickles and I don't know, all the different things that they need. And then back here I've got some skim milk powder, which again is really just for if things hit the fan. Then we have a milk source, and then popcorn. We go through a pretty good amount of popcorn, and I got some of my seasonings here. Just wanted to have it together. And then a huge jar of raisins, jar of dried cranberries, and then this is kind of just my back stock of, you know, raisins and chocolate chips. And then I have some pink Himalayan salt, cream of tartar, ascorbic acid, which I put in my pickles, and when I can. This is my son calling my older one. And then I have a whole pile of beans, dry beans there. And then we got some golden syrup and stuff. You wanna go outside?
Yeah.
Okay, just wait. Keep waiting a little bit. And then down here on the bottom shelf, I think there's actually a shelf missing, which we may end up putting one in just for extra storage. And then that's all my baking stuff. So this is all my like cake decorating stuff. This is all other baking stuff, along with my cheesecloths that I use when we make maple syrup and when I make my own cottage cheese, cream cheese, those sorts of things. And then this again is all back stock. So oatmeal and sugars, flours, salts. And my food dehydrator there. I don't use it a ton. And then we got some kidney beans, dry kidney beans, and some extra jars back there. So that's kind of an overview. I feel like that's like a long overview of my pantry, but that's kind of, I just wanted you guys to know like the process. Like I cook pretty much 100% from scratch. And so, and you know, again, my pantry, as you can see, it's not absolutely beautiful. You know, things aren't labeled with amazing labels. And I just want to really, really encourage you guys that it does not have to be beautiful. I know all these amazing YouTubers, you know, they spend thousands of dollars on pantry organization containers and labels and all the things. You don't have to. And honestly, if you do need to go buy containers, buy mason jars. They are way cheaper. Like for a dozen, so 12 quart size. So that would be like the 1 liter size, or almost 1 liter size mason jars. It's like, in Canadian, it's like $13 for 12. So it's like literally a little over $1 each. And the bigger jars, like the half-gallon ones, the 1.9 liters, they are They only come in a case or a package of 6. And I can't remember what they were. But again, like, and then the gallon jars, like I found those from a local restaurant for like $2 each. And so it's so budget friendly, guys. Like really, really think about how you can make it functional over beautiful. Like it does not have to be beautiful. It does not. Like I am all about cheap. Like it's not that we don't have money, because we do. But I'd rather have it functional because I do all like this from scratch cooking, and instead of being so beautiful that it's not even practical, right? And I also wanted to quick show you guys. I'm gonna turn you around here in the rest of my kitchen. So I'm gonna just turn you around. My counter, I have some of those same jars. These are things that we use every single day. So, and I don't have them labeled yet. There's brown sugar, white flour, oatmeal, which we go through one of these almost every single week. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to use this as a cookie jar, cookie canister. And so that is instead, now honestly, I would have loved to go to Walmart and buy these amazing, beautiful anchor hocking jars and canisters, containers, whatever they're called, to store these things in. But this looks beautiful. And at some point I may spray paint these lids black just because it'll go into my decor and stuff better with the farmhouse style. But honestly, I think it looks beautiful and I love how it looks. And so with that, I'm gonna say thank you guys so much for watching today's video.